Today I want to talk to you about Existentialism is a Humanism by Jean-Paul Sartre. I think that's how you say it. If anyone's French, please let me know. But this book's very interesting. It's a very short book, but there's a lot packed into it. And that's what I really like about short books that pack a punch, is that you can get someone's entire philosophy in so few words, and you can kind of get a brief introduction to them. And sometimes you want to keep reading, sometimes you don't. Sartre is someone that I'm probably going to read more of because I think he has some very interesting ideas, and perhaps his most interesting idea is the existentialist view of responsibility. And how Sartre categorizes this is basically saying that everyone is responsible for their actions, and if you don't believe you're responsible, then you can't trace back your experience to when you conformed. And basically, his entire ideology is about nonconformity, that we every day have a choice to do something, yet we blind ourselves by saying we don't have a choice. We blind ourselves by saying that we had to do this or that we had to do that. And it's very interesting because you think about people at the Nuremberg trials that said, I was just following orders, but the truth is, at any moment they could have stopped. At any moment they could have done something to the contrary. And I know there's, other circumstances that made it so that they did it, that were afraid and all of these things. And these are really big moral questions when it comes to individuals. But Sartre's idea is that at every moment we have ultimate responsibility of our lives. And this is a haunting idea for many people, but it could also be the most uplifting idea at the same time. And what's uplifting about this idea is it's very much a Taoist or Buddhist sentiment that the meaning that we derive from life is our own. The meaning comes from the lack of meaning. Like, because you're not forced to do anything, because you ultimately have the decision, then you can ultimately follow whatever path that you want. And for some people, this can be an enlightening experience. For some people, this is something that allows them to become exactly what they really deserve to be. But for other people, it's petrifying. And this is the exact explanation for why people conform, because conformity is comfort. Conformity is the idea that there's some stability, that there's some set path. But when you go out on your own, when you choose to live your life as if you make your own decision every single day, then you're opening yourself up for fear. You're opening yourself up for uncertainty. And it's really a juxtaposition of, do you want absolute freedom or do you want absolute comfort? And absolute comfort will make you happy to a certain degree, but it'll never give you that deep fulfillment that you really want. That the only source of fulfillment that you have is when you live when you live authentically as yourself. I was about to say unauthentically, but that's the opposite. But I think Sartre says a lot of interesting things, and at the end of the book, he talks a lot about The Stranger, which is one of my favorite works by Camus, and it's very interesting to see such a well-respected philosopher talk about the stranger in such a manner, because while I'm reading The Stranger, I'm obviously picking up on the themes, but it's first a great story and second a great philosophical work. And I think that's what really stands out most about Camus' writing, is that there's great philosophical ideas, but there's also a underlying theme that gives you a bird's eye view on the human existence. And it's very similar to Kafka in that essence. Kafka talks about very weird stories, and through these weird stories are almost allegorical representations of some aspect of humanity, some aspect and downfall of man. And it's very interesting. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to pick up more Sartre, however you say it. I feel like I've said it so many times in this video that someone's just going to tell me I said it wrong. I don't speak French, I'm sorry, but overall this is a very quick read, very easy thing to read, and I think it has a lot of gems in it. I think it's something that if you are interested in existentialist philosophy, if you're interested in Camus, Dostoevsky, anything around that sort of realm of things, I think you're going to really love this book. So I'll link it at the end. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys so much. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.